actually been trading for a little bit, so I'm going to wait. I got a couple buys on right now, and I'm about ready to pull off. And then I can just shift my focus. But let's go to FX Street Pops first, see when the news is going to happen. If you guys, since we're going to be trading this this time slot, let's go ahead and bookmark this page so we can just go right to it every day.
Idea.
Okay, FX Street.
Yeah. Patricio, I'm glad to see you're safe and okay. Hurricane didn't get you. Just continue to
no, it didn't.
Just your internet. Got your internet.
you got the, well, I actually got the power.
Oh, okay.
So
All
economic calendar is that
Where do I see that now?
Make your screen bigger. It might be on your. Yeah, it was in like laptop view or mobile view.
Okay.
And then, yep. And scroll down. Change the time to mountain time.
Sorry.
Right here. See if I can get it just to pop up. I'm at my action point right now, and there's my pop up. If it holds, then I'll hold. But I'm in the money now quite a bit. So I might be done trading for the day if it pops up to the top of that level.
That's where I want to be.
It comes down. It comes down. Then curse you. It's teasing me. Like, do I get out or stay in? If it pops up higher, I could have a great day today.
Looks like nothing really significant until 10 we have speech, but those other ones probably won't be any effect.
Yeah, it looks like we had like news that already affected Cool this morning. That's probably why it just went down and down and down. It was at 5:30 if you were trading at that time, which would have been like an hour and a half ago.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure that you watch that.
Claims? No. Which one did it affect me then?
Well, yeah. I mean, you got at 5, you had the CPI there, and then
come I don't have. Okay.
You had 5:30. You had the domestic product. Okay, there we go. That's what I was looking for. And this is my next action point. I'm gonna close out or hold on. What you gonna do? Oh, it broke. Sweet. All right, so pull up your LMFX and I'll tell you guys what I'm doing here.
Okay.
So I can show you what I'm doing. All right, so
he's a millionaire every morning.
Yes, in my mind. It's all about mindset, baby. Dad, pull up your LMFX. Hurry before this action's over, so you can pull up your
Press
trading.
for the bank account you want, not the bank account you have.
That's right.
Demo bank account.
Yeah.
You're slow, Dad. Pull up your trading account. LMFX. All right, so you missed it.
I know. Really?
All right. It didn't materialize. So it kind of popped up above that. So I'm done trading, but I'm not done trading for the day per se, but I'm done trading for right now. On that move, I made about $400 there. So, what I was going to do, or what I was going to show, is that when to get out. So if you see an action point and it pops above it and it keeps running, when do you guys get out?
At another price cycle.
Okay, that's a good answer. Anybody else want to take a guess at that?
decision point or when it starts sputtering a little bit?
Okay, so there's a couple things,
That's
and this is just what happened to me. So, this is your action point, right? And it popped up above it.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I'm zoomed in a little more. So go ahead and zoom in a little more. I honestly could have stayed in, but I'm like, I want to get to trading with you guys, and I can't do both. I'm not that talented yet to trade my own account and to help you trade.
Did you want our numbers before you start? Or
What's that?
Did you want to get our stuff?
Yes, thank you. Don't. I just want to talk about this for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So I got in early. So I started buying in right here, and then I bought in as it dropped down.
oh wow, that's
Kept
wonderful.
buying in because I knew that this could possibly have been a bounce point, right? So I bought in and I wrote it up. And of course, this wasn't an action point. It is an action point for these trades, but not for that layer. So I was like, well, if it can jump up to here, I'm going to close out. And so it popped up there. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it's kind of ignoring that action point, but it came right back down and sat. So that was my get out signal that it could possibly run down and touch here. Now it's not, but it's still my get out signal, because anytime it doesn't break, that's a good signal. It opens the door for it to turn, right? So if it does this and you guys happen to catch yourself on the other side of this action point and you're in the money, so the next action point would be right here, right?
Yeah.
So there's a couple things that you can do. If it pops, it's the same thing. If it comes up here, stops and stalls, that's when you get out. And one of the things that I don't want anybody in this group to ever say is I coulda, shoulda, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to taking losses, or when it comes to keep it staying in, right? I mean, you could easily have said, oh man, you should have stayed in. But the right call is to get out. Making the right call is more important than getting lucky, right? So the right call is it didn't break, it stopped, it stalled. The right call is to get out right there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so you put your feel goods in knowing that you made the right call, even though the market didn't, right? Because if it would have turned here and you got out, guess what you guys would be thinking?
Well, crap.
No, if you got out, you'd be like, yeah, I made the right call.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so put your energy and like you won that trade, instead of saying, oh man, I should have stayed in. Feel good that you made the right call. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so it's a mindset, right? And I can't stress this enough. I mean, Cool's starting to understand right now, and I'm sure a lot of you guys out there probably understand that trading is all about the mindset, right? And if we get discouraged here because we should have stayed in, then that's the wrong mindset, right? You guys understand that?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Because guess what? It didn't come up to this action point, and now it's turning, and it could turn and go all the way down to here, right? So anyways, I just wanted to point that out. All right, let's go ahead. Yeah, that's a great point, Josh. It says you can always get back in, right? And that's the thing that kind of helped me. That attitude really helped me. Is like, you know what? There's always another opportunity.
That's what
Opportunity.
Going down the road.
Yep. All right. So
David, I have a question quickly. What amazed me was when you said, I decided to start putting buying layers. You got this trend going down, and I mean the faith you had on that bouncing point enough to put layers for buying there. That takes courage.
right here.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it takes courage, because that's the right play. So I'm playing this bounce. it comes down all the way and I'm playing the bounce and I know that this is going to happen. And I'm also looking at price cycle. So if I measure here to here, here to here, there's 2 price cycles, right? And so if I'm at the end of 2 price cycles without it going back up 1 and I'm at a bounce point, probability of it coming up is pretty high.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So that's the right play to buy in. I just didn't think we were going to get 2 price cycles. So I bought in here off this bounce right here. It didn't. So I just bought in more. And honestly, this is where I make my money. When I buy in a layer and it goes down another price cycle and I can buy in another layer and I'm in deeper, right? Because if it would have bounced here and gone up, I wouldn't have made as much money as it comes down here and goes up. And so that's one thing I still struggle with mentally, because when I'm trading in front of people and they see me get in and I lose on that layer, and then I get in and I lose on that layer, then I get in and I lose on that layer, I enjoy that. But I start getting comments from the crowd like, ooh, I would have sold there. Do you know what I mean? And, and so I'm like, I really enjoy when it goes against me, because it gives me the opportunity to make more money, because I'm in a little heavier.
So yeah, well, my hindsight's better than yours.
But sometimes it doesn't work out, and you see that. I mean, if you guys, I know some people have seen like Sean get really hurt by this strategy, and yeah, you can get burned by this strategy when it crosses over here and it just decides to do something like that, and you're in heavy and it does something like that. But guess what? The market doesn't typically do that. And so if you trade the way of your rules and you accept defeat when it happens, you're going to be a better trader, because every trader loses. Every trader loses. Right? So
my question.
Yeah.
So I know you said if it goes 3 price cycles against you, you might as well just get out and try again, like I did. But I noticed the price cycles in the morning is a lot larger than those in the evening. In the evening, I'm used to 3, 5, 7 price cycles, where here is like 15 and 20. So that rule still applied. Like if there's a 20 pip price cycle, now you got 60, right? And so the only thing I can think of to mitigate it is, obviously don't go heavy. But if I'm laying it, going down, and now you're maxed out. Do you see what I'm saying? And that was my problem. Is that
so pops real quick. Let's jump into a few cells and then we'll continue. I just want to help him get cells.
Okay.
You're on your trader agent's all sort of messed up. Sell over here on this.
Well, I can't figure out how to change that back to 15. So
well, you're all sorts of messed up.
Do you want me?
Go ahead and put a few cells on. Your action point for those cells are going to be right there. If it pops up to here, then we may flip some buys on to further ride up. But yeah, you're not using my template. That's what's going on.
I know. I need to have you help me fix that.
All right.
Oh boy. It's Marcel's.
No, if it crosses this with the body, it hasn't crossed yet. You got 40 seconds, but yeah, you could have thrown. Yeah, let's throw a sell on right there. See if it just retraces back and does a price. So we got this pretty long price cycle here, and let's see if we get one that comes down into here. If not, if the body holds, then we're going to throw some buys on for a ride up to here. But we should get a price cycle back down.
Or at least some retracement, right?
Yeah. All right. So it held above that. So if it comes down and touches this point, we're going to go ahead and buy. We'll flip into some buys as the ride up. And then we'll make money on the ups. And then if it comes down and touches that, that'll be our new action point to get out of ourselves. All right. While you're doing this, I really need to, man. Now, like I said, I never said coulda, shoulda, but man, if I'd have held on.
Proves you
I would have done trading.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Exactly.
So this was my bias that I was waiting for, but it's a little bit an hour and a half too late.
Sure. I mean, the other secret, I call it secret, I should come up with a better word for it. But the other thing that is kind of, it is a thing, but it's not a thing, is the zero price points. Like it was trading under, it went under 97 and it dabbled in 96. And it doesn't usually, and sometimes when it plays around that, it tries to go back above it. And so just kind of adding that into your knowledge, you know, anytime you see a even price, like a 97 crosses below 97, there's like a hidden kind of what call like a support line or resistance line or whatever. And it's real. And I often look at that whenever we get to those points. Right. So
Now,
I don't know how to else
cells on because it looks like it's
sure. I got to fix it. It's really bothering me. So let me take control here for a second. So I can do this a lot faster. Okay. Where is your 5-minute chart? You got it right here. Pop this here. You always need your 5-minute going. All right, so watch this action point as I'm doing it. See if it crosses over. Well, I guess we're right on it. So take a look at it. So if it doesn't come down and cross this line right here, we definitely want to get out of ourselves and get into some buys. So we got 10 seconds. I'm going to just throw some buys on really quick. All right. So you have a few cells here. Now, if it does cross, then I'm going to start asking you guys. So you guys are relying upon me just telling you, where's our next action point?
Right there.
John asked the question, wouldn't this be a no take profit day? Absolutely. This is a zero take profit day. Yes, Khalid, if you have a better trader agent, absolutely. I would love it. Especially because this is a trial too. I bought the thing, but this trial will expire at some point and they'll have to buy it. So if you have something that's better, that let's use it. Okay, so now that it did break here, where's our next action point? I'm gonna draw a line. You guys tell me where the next action point is as I keep coming down.
I'm guessing you're right in here.
Nobody told me where the next action point is. Come on, guys.
Right there.
You guys are scared?
Right there.
No.
No. It's
You guys failed the test.
It's hard to show you.
Here.
I give you a quiz and nobody passes.
Trying to figure out how to
it's all about teach a man to fish.
It's 9714.
9714. Where's that? So is that right here?
A little bit up. Yeah, it could be that one or a little bit upwards because on the left side, on the downside, there's a little support there where you had like a some kind of.
So 97 of 97.
Okay. I'm not, it's hard to see price, but this could be one, but I ignore this one because that doesn't give you any profit. Does that make sense?
Mm.
So this is one right here.
That one. That's the one that I was talking about.
Yeah, sure.
That's 97. That's the number I gave you. That's the number I gave you.
I'm just kidding. All right,
It's 9715.
but this could be a turn, and if it turns, then our buy action point is right there,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So it's kind of on if it crosses this blue line right there, that blue candle, then it's probably going to come up and touch that action point. So that being said, this is our confirmation candle that if we're going to come down to here or we're going to go up to there. Does that make sense? So what is it going to do? And depending on the action of this candle,
Coming down now.
right? Depending on the action of this candle will determine our reaction to what we do.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Right.
Now, even though it's coming down, it could go right back up. You still got 30 seconds on that candle. And I need to flip the mouse and your buys. Oh. I was just going to get out of your cells, but you have no. Okay. This is, you don't have all the tools that you could use. So
I was able to get out.
yeah, this is exactly what I was looking for when I wanted to get out right there with this. So you got to make sure that your view is always like this. Because you missed that opportunity because I couldn't find it. I was looking for it. Where's my get out of cells? So please just use this view at all times. It's and get comfortable with it. I'd probably pull this over and we're going to start dropping trader agent. Okay. So we missed our opportunity to get out. Now we got to fix these cells. Because you guys see that so Andrew got out. Did anybody else get out?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Okay. So now with our buys, if it comes up here and touches this right there, that's when we want to, that's our action point for when we want to get out. All right. Do I have enough time to fix your, I want to get out and fix your screens because it's really bothering.
My screen.
Yeah. You're just not set up to really maneuver quickly enough.
Yeah.
Everything is in the wrong places. And so if you get used to a certain way that things are set up, you know exactly where things are. And when you trade in the morning, like we learned yesterday with Andrew, you got to be really quick.
Yeah.
And make quick executions, right? All right. So here, this is our action point. If it breaks above right there, or if it stalls, if it breaks above this, we'll hold on to the buys. We got 20 seconds. So
right now I'm just kind of sitting, right? Just kind of.
do you have any trades on?
No, I closed out of my cells because that was the first
You
time.
never put buys on. I'm going to go.
I wasn't quick enough to get into cells as well.
Or
buys as well.
Okay. So yeah, so you're sitting, because if it doesn't cross over, then it's going to come back down. And when it comes back down, it could be good place to buy. This is not a good place to buy.
No.
It's not a good place to sell either, because it really hasn't made its decision if it's going to go higher or not. All right. But I do want to get out of your cells before I start monkeying with your trades or with your templates. All right. So I'm going to start monkeying with your templates. Guys, tell me if price comes down while it's doing this. Because if you're into cells, this is what we're looking for. To get out of these cells, we're looking for it to just come down and play into this area right there. Okay. If you want to get into buys, because I think it's going to come all the way up to the top and test the top. But it's not going to do that until it probably won't do that. I shouldn't say it's not going to, because that's a definite, but this is a bounce point right here where you could see it come back down. Right here is a bounce point. If it breaks through, then it's going to touch the top of that. But we could see it kind of give us a downturn before it breaks the top. So see how it just kind of says, I'm not ready to break through that layer yet. So generally it says, okay, let me test. First test was right there. It failed. So it leaves the door open for it to come back down like it's doing. That doesn't mean it's going to come down all the way to where our cells are before it retests, but this could be a good place to buy because we're going to get that retest as long as there's enough profit right here to under there, which is 3 pips. So if it drops down a little tiny bit, go ahead and buy. And then your action point is right here. So if it stalls right there, you get out of your buys because it's going to do the same thing again. It's going to come back down and you could recycle your trade. So if it comes back down, you could do that again. So we'll go ahead and buy. Oh, never mind. I forgot about the stupid spread. Sometimes I trade like Alveo. So if you're in Alveo, that's a good place to buy right there if it pops down. But we're looking for just a little tiny bit of profit, like 2 pips from our action point. I don't think I'm going to take that buy off before it pops because there's just not enough meat on the bone. So I want it to kind of pop down into this range. Okay, so we popped up. What's your position? You got 1.45 on your cells and 1 on your buys. All right, so always, guys, always have an action plan ready for what you're going to do with these cells, what you're going to do with this buys, right? Mm-hmm. And so always have what I call what happens if. Right. And so let's go through it really quick. I'm going to just kind of start telling you guys, and then I'm going to start asking you guys instead of telling you guys. So what happens if it crosses the top? What do we do? What happens if it crosses the top on a buy?
So you mean like the next stop?
Yeah.
Like the highest? What happens?
That's a great question. I don't know. Yeah, so yeah.
Oops, I just did something. I hate when MT4 sometimes is so finicky with your take profit lines.
Right. Down.
Okay. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. Let it run a bit. When it retraces, get out of the cells. Yep. That's a great point. I have no idea what the price cycle would be on the M1 right now. Oh, thanks, Khalid, for uploading that. I'm going to play with that today, actually. And then maybe I'll do a video tutorial on, or maybe you can do a video tutorial on if I'm missing things. But if it's pretty straightforward, then great. Well, I love that. Call it Protégé. Okay, so let's get back to what happens if. All right, so I'm kind of feeling like these cells need to go away. I don't want to have them. If you close out of the cells now, I would consider that taking a max loss, right?
Right.
So what our best case scenario is for it to kind of price cycle back down here and get out, break even, get into some buys right here. Because it has crossed this line. It has crossed this line. Your view is so restrictive because of your template. it's crossed this line right here, meaning, and it hasn't crossed this line, meaning it's kind of playing between this range right here, and it's going to break out. I shouldn't say break out. It's going to either cross this line or cross that line, right? Those are the two things that it's going to do here. And so our action is, if it crosses this line with the body and comes down, is to save ourselves. Save ourselves. I like it. If it comes above this, then our action is to get into some buys to get some profit. So when it comes down, and we don't expect it, we would probably not expect it to come all the way down here for a break even. We're gonna take some losses on the sells if it broke above this, but we need to make money to cover those losses, right? And so always are thinking about it in, how do I cover my losses? And if you trade to cover your losses, that's a level 2 technique. And you start trading to cover your losses. And so that, and then when you do take a loss, you've already covered it. Because get it in your head right now that you're going to take a loss. Every trader is going to take a loss. You're not a bad trader if you take a loss, but did you cover your losses with wins? And that's what you have to do. That's what separates a new trader to a seasoned trader, is I'm able to cover my losses with profits of other trades. All right. Didn't like that because it just shot up and the candle is going to break above that. And so that could have been our point right there, but I did not expect that. That candle just to retrace all the way back, cross that with the body and go. So sometimes you get that was out of the blue, because we did get a body that closed down. So generally the market doesn't do that. Just get you get 100% retracement, but you don't usually get a retracement with a cross in one candle. So if it comes down here, so Andrew, did you buy when it came down here?
No, I was watching and listening to what you guys were talking
about. Andrew, if you don't have any trades on, if it comes back down here, buy. Because I do think overall we're going to test the top of this. It's going to test the top. And that's why I'm trying to get out of the sells and flip into buys. And that could have been our point right there. Because here it goes. It's now testing the top. So again, it's hard to talk and trade at the same time, especially during this hour. But I'd much rather have this action than in the nighttime, where all I have to do is talk and I get no action. All right, so we're going to go ahead and close out of your buy there, just because it's at the top and it crossed over. And now we're kind of technically in an outside range where it could just continue to run. I don't know if it will. I don't know if it will, and this candle is going to tell us everything we need to know. So now our get out of sell card is shifted. Now our sells, our get out of sell card is right here. So we do need it to come back down with the body cross right there. Did anybody execute on this right here where they got out, or got into buys right there?
I did.
Okay, good. So did you get out of your buy?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, good. Now I'm not saying that we could see another run and you can hold on to that, but typically when you see a breakout to the top, it does what it's doing now. And if it doesn't pass this, in fact, go ahead and throw a couple buys on right now, just for safety, like a belay type situation, in case it does pop and run. And like it could run another 20, 30, 40 pips, right? And that's a safety thing. So if not, I mean, I'm still thinking that we're going to move higher. So we'll go ahead and throw buys on.
David, it doesn't matter because right now it's rubbing against the new or the last high on the day chart.
It does matter. If it breaks, it's going to run, right?
Okay.
And so that's why I'm like, I want to throw a few safety layers on. In fact, I'm going to close out of your shorts right now, just because I'm feeling like we're going to get a run. So I just took that loss, and this is just more filling than technique or anything. And so this takes a little bit more time when you start filling the market, if that makes sense. And sometimes I'm totally dead wrong, but this is just my gut reaction that we're going to get a run. And let's see on the 5 minute, kind of having to look at on the 5 minute chart. We got a little bit of resistance that is fighting right now, but if it pops, it's going to pop. So we took a $300 loss, and now we have to recover on that. But I'd rather take the loss here than have that go into like $1,000 loss, right? So as it comes down, I'm going to continue to buy. Where I'm going to say I was wrong on this is if it comes down and crosses this line that says buy. If it crosses that, then it means it's coming back down and I was wrong. But I'm going to continue to buy as it comes down. And you always have to have a shift your bias and shift your philosophy. But I still think we're going to get a pop to the higher side, because that's what it's been doing all day yesterday, and it could follow suit. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and throw another buy on. You just can't find your buys. Keep talking about it. I'm just going to do it. All right, I'm changing out your template right now because I can't. So, Dad, you always have to just load up your 1 minute template. That's what you didn't do, unless you change your 1 minute template. And then you have to load up your 5 minute template over here, which I think you already have. Just got to go in here and load the 5 minute.
Okay.
All right. And we will clear all the drawings. And I'll get into a few more buys here because we're at the low point. This would have been a better time to get out of cells, but I didn't, because it popped with the close of the body. I got a little bit nervous that we were going to get that pop and just run, because I've been a part of that and I've been on the wrong side of that. And yesterday we were on the wrong side of that. So I would have rather played it safe than sorry, if that makes sense. But in your account, 10,000.
So you're trading with 0.15.
Yeah, in his account. And I did not get, Andrew, I told you to remind me.
Remind you what?
Exactly. Your numbers. Exactly. Your starting numbers.
I reminded you.
No, I said, let me finish this conversation and what I want to talk about, and then remind me.
Oh. Well.
It's your fault, Andrew.
Yes.
Sorry.
It's never.
It's always my fault.
It's never mine. Just kidding. All right. We're going to go ahead and buy in. Now, as it goes down, this is where you can start to get more aggressive on your buys. So we need these buys to save that, right? To save it. So basically what I'm looking for is if I can make money on this layer as it pops up and get into here, can I get out of this layer with profit? So we're playing here to fix this layer right here. And if it breaks above that, then we got to play to fix that loss. But unfortunately, we were trading a little heavy. And I do not like with the price cycles that we have right this second, I don't like your stop losses so tight. If we have like 20 pip price cycles and 40 pip stop losses, that's not a good thing. All right.
That's one thing, Dave, that I obviously we know that in Alveo it just takes us out when we hit the 5. But on this one right here, it's one of those lucky ones where, I did write it down and it did come up an hour and a half later, and then I got all that gain, made $500, from that run up. But that's no skill or anything.
Right. So the one thing that you're going to do when you're trading this account, or when you're trading your own money account, and every trader is going to do it, but we got to teach you not to do it, is you're going to hold on to your losses because eventually you're thinking it's going to come back.
Yeah.
And that's a hope and pray strategy, not a technique strategy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because, look, it does happen. It came back all the way down, and we would have broke even on those sales and saved ourselves $370. But the right play, like I talked about earlier, was to get out here, because if it does break higher, it would have been in an outside range. It would have, it could have gone, and we have no idea. So if you look over here on the 5-minute chart, it crosses over. You have no idea. What's going on? MT4 sometimes struggles with scripts, changing your stop losses. It's always fun. Did you have no idea if it pops up? This is messy. If it pops up, it could run all the way up into here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so I am very, 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 very timid and shy when it comes and making sure that I make the right call when it comes to an outside range, right? And so you've heard me say before that you trade light when it comes up, right? But it's also a bounce point, and we got that bounce down. It's also a bounce point, but I rarely ever trade the bounce point on an outside range, or where it's a major support line or a major resistance line, right? Excuse me, major resistance, major support. So if it's down here, trading down here, I'm doing the same thing. Playing super cautious, super light, because if you get a break, it could run, right? So Pete just called out a head and shoulders right here. So if we get that head and shoulders, then it could run down a little more.
So what would you say is your trend right now?
Well, I think you'd have to look at the longer term trend. Like yesterday, it went up. So let's go ahead. That's a great question. Let's go ahead and pull this out to the 15. Holy cow. Sorry, Pops. You need to get a bigger monitor. All right, so let's just pull it out to the hour, actually. All right, can you guys see the trend on the hour? If I clean this up a little bit.
It's just like it was a downtrend for like weeks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But are we still in that downtrend? Meaning, if you look at the hour chart and you draw a trend line from here to here, you could still make a case that you're still in that downtrend. Does that make sense?
Right.
But if you also draw a trend line to here, you can make a case that you're in an uptrend. And so right here's your crossing point on the hour, meaning your pinch point. Right here's where it's going to pinch. And so generally when you see two trends coming to a pinch, it starts to trade annotation. It starts to get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until it gets a breakout either way. That makes sense. So what it could be right up against this trend line, it could come right back down and stay in the trend. But if it does cross this with an hour, if it does cross this and go up to here, it's kind of stopped this trend. And so that's right what it's up against. John asked the question on the S&P correlation theory. Let me do a little bit of research. I don't really look at the S&P that often. I'm usually just in here, but I know Sean does. And so I'd love to get his thoughts on it too. I'm going to be meeting with him next week. So let me ask him that. That's a question I'll ask him. But I am looking at more at the S&P because you can trade the S&P with LMFX, and I'm contemplating doing that. And because that's what Sean does. If he's not trading currency, he's trading the S&P. He's also trading commodities, which I can do too. And price action is usually the same. So I've been kind of tinkering around with that personally, is seeing if it transfers over, and Sean says absolutely it transfers over. So, but to the Joseph, did you ask a question other than that? I don't think so. It has the move far off the down line. Are you talking about the trend? So let's see. We're looking at the hour. Let's go back to the 1 minute. Okay, so on the hour, on this trend line, it doesn't have to be exact. Yeah. I mean, this trend line, it's just like drawing a line, right? It's an area. You always draw your support, your resistance, your trend lines more like with a marker than a pencil. That's the way that I kind of liken it to. Never use a pencil to draw an area draw a line in the sand, right? The only time that it's exact, that I use exact, is if it crosses the candles with the body. That's the trigger, or that's the information that I use as exact. Also, pops never have this guy over selected. So always have, this one's fine to do. But that end button on the keyboard does the exact same thing. So I'm starting to use my arrow keys. It's just a lot faster. My plus minus, your arrow keys, and the end button on the keyboard all does the same thing. Okay, so we had a run down, I had a run up, and missed that opportunity because I'm back to teaching and not trading. So dang it, right there would have been a good opportunity to see if you had made enough money to get out of your top layer. But now that it's kind of retraced, we're playing on this, is seeing if it'll test the top of that one more time. Oh, Norma, I didn't know you were on. It's good to have you. And so let's see. Steve used to say that once it traveled a ways from the line, the trend no longer applies. That is correct. Yeah. So once it travels away from the trend line, then it starts to create, well, it just negates the trend line support or resistance. It's just kind of like crossing over a support line, right? Once it crosses over that support line, it doesn't have any weight or bearing on your decisions any longer. So yeah, Joseph said, good for us, bad for my dad though. Because I shouldn't be trading your account, Dad. I'm taking away your learning, so I apologize. So
well, I'm learning. I'm just I'm going to continue watching and absorbing.
Yeah, I just kind of took over control and
yeah.
So sorry about that. Okay, so we got to make $370 up. And that's not likely to happen. I'm going to change this right here to point. We'll look for this is kind of be my opportunity trade, right? I'm not going to use that, but at least I have that in my back pocket to be like, oh, I see a great opportunity. We'll go in a little heavy with a couple layers. Right now, I don't really see any solid opportunity to get in because you're not at the top of anything, nor are you at the bottom of anything. You're kind of right in the middle. And it could decide to, once again, test the top, which I think it's going to, or it could decide to and come down and test the bottom. So when you're in the middle of something, it's never a good idea to enter into trades or exit out of trades. So this is the sit on your hand strategy, and that's never a bad strategy. Okay. So yeah, didn't want it to do that, but it did, right? And which I was hoping that it would close that candle higher, which would then give us a test of the highs and would have gotten us out. The nice thing is that you're hovering around break even if you got out of all of these trades. Now, obviously you're down. And so we're looking right now. I'm hunting for an opportunity to fix your $370. The best opportunity that I'd like is if it pops the top and just runs for 10 to 20 pips. That'll fix it. But that's what I'd like. That doesn't mean I'm going to get it. So we got to trade these layers. You got to separate that loss from what these layers are doing, because you don't want to expound onto that loss by trading to fix it in one swipe. Does that make sense? And I think a lot of times as traders, we tend to do that. We're like, oh, I got to fix my trades. And so I'm going to go in really heavy to fix my losses, but it's not the time to do that. And so sometimes I think psychology takes over where reason should, right? Emotion, I should say, not psychology, but emotion takes over where reason should take over. And you got to learn to separate the two. And right now I'm kind of taking that loss and shoving it aside in my head right now. And I'm focused on what these layers are doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes all the sense in the world, because otherwise you're still dragging that on your mind all the time.
Right. Okay. So yeah, you guys are free to drop out and go watch Sean in the trade room. But I'm probably going to continue to trade here past the 8 o'clock hour. Just because I'm going to fix his thing before I leave. But that doesn't mean, you guys are free to drop off and I'll post the recording for sure. So what does that mean? Yeah, I like that. No offense, Nate. That is not fun.
Now, here's what I'm seeing. And tell me if I'm wrong. I'm seeing it as consolidating tight right now, getting ready for a breakout. Which I have no idea which way it's going to go.
Right. I mean, I'm feeling like it's still going to pop to the top, but that's again feeling, right? So you got out of that top batch. That's probably a good thought. In fact, maybe I'll do that too. If it comes up and tests here, I'm going to flip to your worst losses. And if I can get a 0 out or close to, I'll go ahead and do that. And then I'll reposition. In fact, that's a great play. Should have done that. So that's a great call out. I should have done that. I should have peeled these guys off and then put them right back on down here. And that would have been the smarter play. So if we
Hard to
get
teach and trade at the same time, Dave.
for sure, for sure. But we might just get our pop here. And if it stalls, I'll start peeling off losses. But if it holds 20 seconds, holds above this layer over here. Everybody in Zoom land, you guys can't see my mouse, right? My mouse pointer.
Good.
Okay. All right. Well, 8 seconds. Oh, it didn't do it. So yeah, you just got to get that action. So it didn't do it. It says nope, I'm not going to do that. So if it held, our action point should be let's hold on to these trades. But because it doesn't, cheater tottering decision. What to do? What do you guys think I should do? Should I peel off or hold?
I feel like hold.
I don't know if I should count. You're a little biased though.
Oh, that's bad. Bad.
I pulled out of all of mine.
Of your top layer?
Yeah.
Okay.
I took like a $3 profit, but I mean, something's better than nothing, right?
Yeah. Well, do you have these layers on down here?
No, I didn't have those on.
Oh, okay. Well, you should. So
I think
if it comes down here again, definitely buy.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to see it though come down.
Yeah, I've got to get going. I've got an appointment at 9. So
Okay, you're fine. Oh no. The website's down. Yeah. I thought they did the trade room on the apiary side, not the trade room on the street. And apiary's site usually doesn't go down. Or did he move the trade room over to the trade room on the street? I don't know. Oh, it's on both. Okay. It makes yeah. The part of the got it. Okay, so it's struggling to make a move lower or higher. So should get some movement though, because we're at the top of the hour. I mean, we're kind of in there. So we should see a pop one way or the other. You tend to not get this small of candles at this hour. You know, usually that's much larger, much more movement. So
More like evening trading.
yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's still faster. You know, the candles are moving faster. All right. So who said to hold those trades? You were wrong. Just kidding.
Yeah.
That was right. And so that's kind of part where you just got a part of like filling as well. Like you have
Here it comes.
Sometimes you're just up to a 50-50, right? So, and sometimes it's better to be safe than sorry. Like exactly, I should have gotten out. So even though you said here it comes, the best play would have been get out and put them on right here, right? Just move them from here to here. That would have been the better play, and that's the safer play. So, Andrew, throw a few on right there. Well, I guess if you're leaving, you can't watch them. If you want to throw a few on, you could set a take profit to the top of that candle and you'd probably be fine if you're going to leave. But if you have trades on and you guys have to leave from trading, make sure that you always have a take profit and a stop loss before you leave. Boom, boom, boom. This is really slow. like I said, I moved this into a higher weight here, but there's still had not seen a solid, oh, yep, there's a great opportunity yet. So I haven't seen any great opportunities to get into any trades just yet. I just want to move those stop losses down.
So I have just about the same setup you have.
Okay. So here is, if it comes up and tests another time, the chances of it breaking up is greater. I mean, because and staying above. So if it breaks above this, if it breaks above, this is the line, the decision point. If it breaks above that with the body, then I'm definitely going to hold on to these trades. If it doesn't, it just leaves the door for it to come down again. So we got 30 seconds on that candle. And if it doesn't break it, then the play is to definitely take those out. "17 seconds, 12 seconds. I like it. Pete's rooting. Go, 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 go. Okay, so we did get the break on the body, right? And so that's a good thing.
The heck?
I'm just getting it more zoomed in so I can see that body. Now remember, if this candle comes down and closes below that line, that means that was just a fake out, not a breakout. And I don't you can get confused by that because it's technically not a breakout of consolidation, but it negates that candle's move is what happens. And so that information is no longer relevant to your trading if the subsequent candle says not so fast. And so this is the break. The next candle is kind of your confirmation, right? If it holds.
Trump card, huh?
Fine, yeah. So we should get a higher. So I seem to always be a bit late on the move, which places my trades on the wrong end of my entry.
I thought I was the only one that did that.
I'm always reading candle. I wish I kind of understood your question a little bit better, because I read candles. The action of the candle is now, right? So real time. So what is this candle doing? Don't ever look past this candle when I'm reading information, but I definitely look at price cycle in the past. So when I'm looking at the past, I'm looking at price cycle, right? I mean, well, obviously have changed from a 20 pip price cycle to now we're at 6 to 8, right? So we're in a 6 to 8 price cycle, right? Speaking of that, I didn't know that because I thought the candles are smaller. So it might change the way I'm trading too. So, I mean, we're taking, yeah, we're at the top. So I never want to go heavy when we're at the top of something. So that's kind of why I'm keeping you pretty light. For your account, 1.6 lots is light, just so you know. We're keeping you pretty light, Pops, because it could break one way or the other. And hoping it breaks to the higher side, I would have personally thought it would have done it by now. And here's our next test. So we got to cross, in order to pass the test, we got to cross this with a body. So if this candle holds, we'll get our breakout.
Remember I said to hold those trades?
Why are we saying congrats to Norma? What's congratulations. What did Norma do? Okay, here's our break. Now here's the break. So now when we get out, oh man, I got to fix your trailing stops. Okay. On the stall, you could get out here if you guys want to close out. I'm going to wait and see if we'll get another bounce up. But usually when it's in the outside range, I tend to wait until we get another candle that trades below this candle. And so that's kind of my technique there is on a breakout. But I don't necessarily want to. So I'm going to peel your worst layers off real fast. Just peel that top layer off. We're going to take profit on that. So that if it comes down and tests that zone and does break below this, we'll get out of these with profit. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the 50% retracement, right?
Correct. Right. But so my thing is on a major breakout when I'm writing where you have no data to the left, it's kind of an outside range. My thing is I wait until the next candle closes below the subsequent candle. And so, but because we had trades sitting right there, I didn't want to risk taking losses on them if it comes down all the way and gets that retracement. So it's cool as bouncing. All right. See it cool. All right. So see that it had 100% retracement there. And if it wasn't an outside range break or breakout, I probably would have faded that. But when you're in an outside range, I never fade that because it could just continue and keep climbing higher and higher and higher. I have no idea where the next support or resistance is what I'm saying.
What do you mean by fade out?
Fading is taking the opposite direction of the candle, right? And so if you put sells on right here for a 50% retracement, you would have taken those.
Oh, okay. Right? That's fading. Okay.
That's fading. Fading the candle is just opposite direction of the candle. Good. I'm glad you fixed your trades there. Cool. I'm sure you're gone.
I was able to.
Yeah, my pops would have been too if I would have took them out.
So I was minus 200. I'm positive 600 now.
Right. And if Andrew was still here, he probably would have gone out. So you see how I was kind of building into that move, anticipating that move to happen.
Right.
I was kind of anticipating it to be a bigger move. That's why I didn't get out everything. I still think it will pop higher, but when and where and how, I can't say. So if we wanted to be done trading for the day, I'm going to go ahead and you would put why is your stop losses? We got to get rid of your trailing stops. You see that? All your stop losses are now above coming into your, and MT4 is not good about letting me move these stop losses. It's really starting to bug me in a bad way. Because I move them and I move them and I move them. And for whatever reason, MT4 just puts them right back there. See that? Just keeps putting them right back on. I do not want it to hit your stop losses.
I've been struggling with the same thing.
It's annoying. See, just closed your out with a loss because this stupid platform won't let me move it. Get out of here. Yeah, it's closing them. All right, we really got to work on your template, Pops. And you got to work on making sure that you're trading with the right stuff. So this always needs to be open. This is your view that you need to get used to and just trade like this all the time. Okay. And wow. Yeah, so much for breaking and running. Exactly. Wait, I didn't see what. Oh, she got funded. It's awesome. It's so good. Should have a funding party on Zoom. Woo! That's awesome. All right. It poked its head up and ran all the way back down. If it crosses this, it could get another run down. But we got to fix your template. That's to me has been your biggest issue in this whole. I missed a lot of opportunities here because of your template and the way you have things set up. So if you guys, let's see, Patricio, are you still there with us?
I'm here.
Okay, I'm going to have you do the same thing that I'm going to do right now on the 1 minute chart.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to set it up for when we're trading here. We're going to change our stop loss to 60, and that should withstand 3 price cycles because we're seeming to be getting these 20 pip price cycles when we're trading.
So you're changing it to what?
60 on your stop loss. So,
yeah,
wait. So load up the 1 minute.
Okay, wait. So load up the 1 minute. Okay.
Load up the 1 minute. And we're going to
1 minute zero take profit or the 1 minute
zero take profit. Yeah.
Okay. So load that. Okay.
Yep.
Now change the stop loss from 40 to 60.
Correct.
Okay.
And then you probably should have this fixed. I don't know why he still has it on there, but make sure your trailing stops are off.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And
it's
then
up.
The other thing that I found yesterday that's helping me too is you come down here to see the visual settings right here. We're going to disable price label.
Okay, so draw price label
False. And draw order lines false.
Okay, so this is false.
This will keep it from drawing those lines every time you close out and the money, and just making your chart cleaner. Order
lines off, right? False.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, false. Order lines false. Price labels false. And then I'm going to try Khalid's trader agent, or what he calls it. Forget what he called it. I'm not sure he's still on. Oh, he is. I like the name, but I just forgot what he called it. And that's it for right now. So we're going to go ahead and save that.
Yeah, okay.
As your 1 minute. Save. And then the other thing we're going to do is we're going to go back up, add your take profit to 3. 3 pips take profit. And then we're going to save this as your 3 pip take profit set. So same settings on there. And then the other thing I'm going to do here is load your 5 minute set. And I'm going to come down and change this to 60 as well. Take this off just in case you ever place a trade on the 5 minute. And take your trailing stops off on the 5 minute and take your view visual settings as false. False and draw order line as false. And then we're going to save that as your 5 minute set. Okay, now you should be good. Just don't touch these settings and you should be good. All right, here, I'm going to buy in with our heavy right there.
So you're waiting for the retracement then.
So I bought in heavy because it came down, touched this, and we should see it start to come back up. I'm not anticipating it to come up to here. All I wanted to do is get me some profit, and we'll take the profit. So I'm going to switch trader agent over here. And load your 5 minute. So can you just always have this view, Dad, if that works?
Okay.
And I will save this template. There's your wobble template. So, all right. So now, if it does pop up a little higher, we'll go ahead and it'll fix your everything on the day. If we can get it, just get these top layers to be in the money, we'll fix that. If not, I'm going to start peeling off some profit. Just waiting for this candle to not break lower. Got 30 seconds on that candle.
Haven't gotten much of a wobbling opportunity.
Right now, we're kind of in that because we're playing at the top of anytime we're up into this area, anytime we're up here, you don't wobble, you trade light because you expect a breakout. And we've been trading like before that, it was here. Does that make sense? And we've been trading this area all morning long, which is not a wobble zone. If it breaks to the top, we want to capitalize on it. And that's what we've been positioning for this break. The only thing that I took the blame on was I should have got out of everything here, but my rule is to wait until it comes all the way back down. On a breakout, on an outside range, you typically don't see where it just pokes its head up and then comes all the way back down. You typically see a follow through. And like we did yesterday, we had a huge follow through yesterday. And so that was the play that I was going for. And when you can get on some of those huge follow throughs, that's when you have your 10, 20% returns. Right. And so the risk reward to me, the risk outweighs the reward of waiting to see if it comes back. Because typically when you get a breakout to the major on a major, it doesn't usually come back like it did. So because it came back, it leaves the door open for it to continue to go down for a little while. And so I place these trades on the bounce point, but I'm looking for a wobble. We're going to start wobbling, buying, selling right now. If we're going to continue to trade, now we're into more of a wobble area. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm.
And so there's so many pieces of information that only comes with time. Right.
Right.
Thank you, Khalid. I appreciate that. There's so many pieces of information that come with time, right? And as you start to see all the different things, but the best thing you can do as a trader is have two plans of action. If the market does this, I'm going to do this. But if it doesn't do that, then what am I going to do? And I think that sometimes we fail on our execution when the market doesn't do the first thing we want it to do. Does that make sense? Because we don't have a backup plan in place. So really the best case scenario. So it's, again, two plans here. I want it to break above this with the candle. If it doesn't and it breaks lower, what do I do? Well, you could A, double down on your buys, or B, if it breaks lower than this, you could go into a sell, but how far down could it run before your next bounce point, which is 6 pips, which isn't bad. So and that's the thing, is like, I get kind of lost in the candle sizes of here, mm-hmm. right? Because even that they look small, but they're not that small, because it really is, that is small. This cycle is, almost 10 pip move. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's a great wobble situation.
So if we're gonna wobble, should we change the trader agent to the 3 pips or not?
You could, and it might be beneficial, because then you'll start knowing where your take profit is.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I'm going to do that just for you, Dad, because I'm going to start throwing some wobbling on, and I think we could probably capitalize on that. The only reason why I wouldn't do that for me is because we're moving greater than 3 pips. And so my action points are what tells me to get in and get out. Does that make sense?
Right.
So if I have 3 pips from the top of that candle, which I do, then the wobble says, oh, why is your 5-minute chart it's all jacked up? So I'm going to throw a sell on. And why didn't it give me 3 take profit? Should have gave me a 3 pip take profit. I don't know. Oh, that's why I accidentally put the 3 pip take profit on the 5-minute chart. That's why your 5-minute is jacked up. My bad. Much better. All right, your cells have now hit into take profit territory or wobble. And now we'll go ahead and throw buy on. Oops. You need to flip your into a 3 pip. Yes, I'm going to use that today. So once I'm done here, I'm going to definitely jump on that one. Did I put you in a sell? Okay, you're not in the sell. You're in all buys, which is great. Just waiting for this little pop. Probably going to pill off your worst losses right now or your worst gains. I don't want to see them come back. Take some profit there. And we're still in pretty light for your account, Dad, which is awesome when you can trade light and still make profit. And then we'll pull this guy off too. What's going on with this guy? He's not pulling off. Oh, because he was making more money than the other ones because he was heavier. Okay, that's good. Where did you start today at? What was your profit?
Right about 10.5.
Okay. So you still had profit on the day.
Yeah. I just got traded at 1 in the morning.
Shit.
Okay. Don't trade this account without me.
No, I'm done. Don't worry about
it. I told you that.
I'm done.
You can trade your demo account, but don't trade this account without me. Because you're already down on this account. So you gotta fix that. Okay, we should hear the test. Is it going to pop up or go down? If it breaks to the downside, that's enough for 3 pips. But if it breaks to the upside, then we'll hold on to these trades. Guys. Profit. Buy for a 3 pip.
So you're doing the wobbling now, right?
Yeah.
It's actually starting to move now.
Well, because we're zoomed in.
So,
Yeah. If you zoom, and then that's why I was like, I wanted to zoom in because when you zoom out, it doesn't look like it's moving that much. You see that? Yeah. I mean, it is definitely moving more than what's here.
it was.
Right. But we'll zoom in. Definitely wobbling. So if it comes up here, go ahead and sell. Buy, sell, buy, sell. Probably going to throw a sell on just because I can pick that up. Quick profit grab.
Let's see.
Oh, we saw Bison? Oh, we have Bison. Should have triggered take profit.
Yeah, sometimes it does that. Like the bar will cross the line and it doesn't take the take profit.
It has to cross a little further.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to cross a little further because you got to, I mean, technically you got to cover the spread on your sells. But on buys, when it hits it, like you got to go 1.3 past the line on a sell, but your buys start above it. And so your buys, whenever you're buying, as soon as it hits the green line, it'll take it out.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Right. So it works different than the buy and the sell.
Yeah, because the sells put you in right at price, and then you got to go that plus the spread, and then your buys start you at above the spread. So it starts you with the spread already calculated.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, so now we're in the money finally, Pops.
Yeah, I'm up 100 now.
Right. Sorry, guys, I'm not doing much teaching. I'm just sitting here trading.
No, we're following you. This is great.
So I put a few on there, but I'm kind of thinking it might break below. So I'm just going to go light here. And if it does break below, I got to double that to fix that. And I'm probably like, man, that's me getting a little trigger happy. And why didn't not put 3 pips? Maybe it doesn't do that. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But good, Joseph. That's awesome. I'm going to go ahead and buy it all the way down to here. And then if I need to, I'll flip into some shorts. I want to see what we're 5 minutes doing. I would recommend Dad getting a bigger monitor, just personally, than trying to trade on a laptop. But I mean, if you got it, you got it. It's up to you. But to me, it's hard to see this 5 minute chart because you're cut off right here.
Okay.
Or get a second monitor and pop the 5 minute out. I think you have that, right? You have an extension.
I have another monitor.
2 screens. I put the 5 minute on your other screen, so you're always looking at that.
Okay.
Let me do it here. Just as long as my take profit lines are sitting right on the blue, that's where we want. So it doesn't have to cross the blue before we get our profit. So this is definitely wobble country.
Okay. Now, sometimes the wobble parameters move like up or down. You just to adjust.
Mm-hmm. Like if we get it breaking down, which it feels like it might, it could run. Our next point that it runs is down to here, just 5 pips. This market, 5 pips has been great. So you got to understand the market that you're in. To get 5 pips, it hasn't been that difficult, right? In this market. But in the evening time, if it ran down 5 pips, we're like, oh boy, right? Because you're probably not seeing 5 pips for a while. So you just got to understand what your price cycles are, right? And if we measure from here, probably here, that's a 10 pip price cycle. You could measure from here to here, here to here, but I don't know if I'd call that. So I'd go here to here, which is 10, and then that's 15. So I'd say we're still in the 8 to 10 range price cycles, meaning that if we get in at the bottom of the price cycle and we're only looking for 3-4 pips, we should be able to get that, right? And if it moves 2 price cycles against us, we still should be able to get out of these trades with a break even on 1 price cycle move up. So it's about getting in at the right place.
Mm-hmm. So is there a way of knowing how many of us are connected on Discord or something?
Sorry, say that again, Patricia.
Yeah, is there a way of knowing how many of us are watching this right now?
Yeah.
On the different platforms?
Oh, no. So only people that are watching it right now are on Zoom. You can see that.
Oh, yeah. No, I thought there was some other platform that we were using.
Discord, no. I am going to start putting them to YouTube just to start building the audience there. So we're working on that. I'm not sure what you mean, Joseph, by do you rent out? And then, unless you're not talking to me. And then Pete says about 15. Your knowledge. I rent out my knowledge. I wish. Oh gosh, I have people. I wish. You wish I could impart my knowledge to you guys. I mean, that would be awesome. All right, because we have zero take profit on that. I think I'm gonna peel those guys off with profit just because I don't trust that candle is gonna hold that. So I peeled off a profit so that if it does come back down, I do think we're gonna get a price cycle up to touch that top, but come back down, get back in, right? Here we go. Let's do it. Come down a little bit more and get 3 pips on. When you're wobbling, you really want 3 pips to be at the top of that candle, but I think we're going to get a break to the upside. So I'm just going to move these guys up to this candle line. So we can maximize profit. And then if it pulls down, see, it's like struggling to move those. I have no idea why. Struggling to move the take profit lines. MT4 might just force me to trade with the 0 take profit and a 0 stop loss if it's not going to allow me to adjust my.
Could that be the trader agent trying to do a different setting?
I don't think so.
So it's fighting it.
I didn't use trader agent. I just used because the EA shouldn't fire off, right?
Weird.
No, it hasn't done that before. It has never entered a trade when it shouldn't have. I have had this happen where I've used this, and if you click on that, it also clicks on this. And so sometimes I'll hit a sell and it'll put a buy on because this is open too. And I have experienced that, but that I didn't know it was going to click the one below. So it took me a minute to figure out why am I getting a buy when I'm selling? It took me a minute to figure that out, but it's like just in that space.
Exact same happened to me. I was like, where do those come from?
Mm-hmm. All right, because that happened, I'm going to take a sell and see if we can't pick up a quick little pullback profit, just like that. But didn't get in heavy enough.
So you're $614 on the positive now.
Mm-hmm. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm 1% now for the day. So.
Double down on that move real fast because that was just a spiky move. And I'm going to zoom out so you can see what's going on here.
Decision point right there, right?
Mm-hmm. It sure is. Jan, are you with us? Or no, Jan's not with us. Just wondering if he was trading with us. He just posted in Discord that he's down and he feels like stopping. He's one that I'm worried about because he posted that he might take a break. And I'm like, taking a break's good. Yeah, exactly. Don't want to like, taking a break's good. Like if you need a mental clarity break, but just don't let taking a break from trading turn into months, weeks, years, because it is a skill set that you got to dedicate and master, right? And it takes time. It's just, there's no shortcuts. I mean, I'm hoping, it's my hope that I can expedite people's learning curves by telling what I've learned. And then you guys can, the student surpasses the teacher. You can come back and teach me. And like, no. What I learned, Dave, is that you're doing it all wrong. You should do it like this. Oh, my eyes have been open.
Well, like they used to always say, the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah. I mean, I have never been one, like I've tried, and I'm sure maybe you guys have too, but I've definitely tried not EAs, but indicators, and, different EAs, but, I've definitely tried different indicators, tried to learn how to read the indicators. Like, some traders we have that teach, like they use the HMA, EMA indicators, the Bollinger Bands, the pivots, all that kind of stuff. But it wasn't really until I started truly understanding price cycles, price action, candles, all that kind of stuff, that my trading just went to a different level for me personally. And some people do really, really good at following the indicators, but I kind of feel, and I don't mean any disrespect if this is you, but I kind of feel like as new traders start, they don't have a technique, they don't have a strategy. And so they kind of lean on indicators to tell them what to do. And I think new traders oftentimes gravitate to what's the best one out there? What should I be doing? Because they have no idea what to do. Right.
I used to do that, but I was tired of the indicators lying to me.
It's not necessarily lying. It's just you got to understand that not everything, not even this technique, is going to be 100% correct all the time.
Yeah.
Just like there, I thought it was going to come down and test that. It didn't, so it broke higher. So now we got to fix $40. But missed it. How did I buy? That is a noob thing. My bad. That is noob. Hit buy, and I should have hit sell. I was trying to sell right there, not buy. That's when you talk about fading a candle right there.
Okay.
When a candle just pops up like that, and you're inside of like we're starting to get close to the top where we could see a major break to the upside. So again, this is where you want to trade light. This is where you want to get out of your sells. But if I see something like that, I'm going to take that and get that pullback. So, but sorry, no, this is where we want to go light. Zoom in and over. The buy, we're not in heavy at all. So I am starting to think that if we can pop down here, we'll get out of your cells. Go ahead and get out of these cells right now. That layer, And I'm going to put a little bit of a heavy buy on. Now it does a take profit over here. I don't get it. And I'll do that again. Just for a quick siphon right there. So I call it when it sucks back and hits your take profit, I call it siphon. Just siphon to profit. And I think I might just be done trading with you, Dad, only because I'm starting to trade your account and not teach you.
Oh, that's about where that's about where I would have wanted to end anyway at $200.
Well, I
Take
mean,
it right out of the apple.
I just thought in my mind, I'm like, I should be trading my own account.
Absolutely.
Because I'm no longer teaching, I'm trading. You know
Right.
what I mean? And so I'm like, I should just be trading my own account right now. And I was kind of hoping that we would have gotten you in with zero take profit because I knew that this was going to happen. The action was going to pop like that. Yeah. So if you had zero take profit, probably I would wait and see if you have trades on with zero take profit right now, wait and see if it crosses this line. If it crosses this line, get out. If it doesn't, keep riding it up.
So we're at the top of the price cycle, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, but we've also broken this major high. So you're kind of in an outside range and it could continue to run. So are you in buys right now, Patricio, watching it run?
Actually, I did some sales at the bottom of that, at the top of that, waiting for a retracement that hasn't happened.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that only because we are at a major break. Right. Okay. And so don't ever fade a candle if it breaks up to the major break. So personally, I would get out of those sells if it comes down again, because it could run up. It could run up pretty hard on you. And it's scary right now. If I was in sells, I'd be really scared right now.
Okay.
So I'd pull off those sells.
Yeah, I got to
take a small loss and big one.
Right. Because I anticipate another shot up. But if it does break below here, that's when you want to get out of your buys and take your profit. So if you have zero take profit buys on. Anyways, I think I'm going to call it. I mean, that was a 2-hour session. Just I got caught the last little minute just trading. Now that it's broken above this, and you're not into any trades, this is a good time just to kind of call it quits because we have no more support and resistance. If you're not into any trades, don't chase the market. Don't get caught in saying, oh, it's going to run, it's going to run, it's going to run. Because at any time it could come right back down, right? Yep. So never chase the market. Always wait for this kind of stuff that you can trade in where you got support and resistance. That's when I jump back into the market. But for me, at the time of day, because it just broke out, I might just be done trading for the day and and trade no more. I'm up $400, so I'll just take the $400 and call it a day for trading. And then I got to figure out how to trade with you guys and trade my own account too, because maybe one of these days, maybe one day a week, I'll just trade and you guys can just watch. Would that be okay, Patricia?
Yeah. The whole key is watching you. I don't care if it's on my account or your account,
Well, the goal is to get your guys' account to 50,000.
But if we can watch and copy, I mean, it's the same thing,
Okay.
I think
I've been able to pretty much watch and copy. This is the first time today that we do that. So, I mean, the thing is sometimes we need to be so fast on the trigger that was a lag. But anyways, I think this following you right now today has been an enormous learning experience for me. So I think that's great.
Okay. Well, then I'll maybe one day a week. I'll just put myself in rotation, and because I'm trying to rotate with you guys. So the goal is to grow your guys' accounts. But if we can do that and I can still get the opportunity to trade my account, that would be good too, right?
Of course.
Sure. Absolutely.
All right, guys, like I said, this is a marathon session and some of you guys are still with us. Thank you. Some of you guys who have muted yourself and your videos not on, you're probably not with us. I'm just kidding. I am kind of eager to try the new EA, so I'm gonna do that, and then post a video in Discord on how it works and all that fun stuff. Anyways, we'll call it there. You guys have a great day. Patricio, Dad, sometime today, if you guys have some time, I'd like to jump on a call with everybody. If you guys have some time, or tomorrow, maybe today, tonight, tomorrow, I'd like to jump on a call with you guys just to kind of go over the journey and what we're doing, so I can give everybody an update on the stuff that we're trying to put together. So, okay. And have you guys
I'm completely open, David, anytime you want.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna throw that out there and see what time's a good time for everybody. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds
Talk
good.
to you later. Okay.
Take care. Thanks.
Bye.
Guys.
Bye.